Mic check. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. Check 1, 2, baby. Come on, come on, come on. Dude, what is going on? Good morning, everybody. Hold on a second here. Having some Streamlabs issues. Having like internet issues this morning. Come on now. There we go. Sweet. Let's go right into it. Man, it's fun and flexible. I live in Jacksonville, Florida. They think that's Portland or San Francisco here. North Florida. We got a little bit of a bleed coming out right now. Liquidation break in
Emma
Spoos.
wins the latest Republican Speaker nomination ahead of the floor vote.
North Florida, Springfield and Urbana, Ohio are cheap. Rohit saying I might just buy some land. So he'd be open to land in Maine as well. I just went and did a family reunion in Maine. There was no easy way to get there. We had to fly into Boston and then rent a car and drive. Where we were going was like another 7 or 8 hours because their coastline is so huge in Maine. Beautiful in Maine, by the way. Let's take a look at this. Nothing down there, right? Got the first cross right here. See that first cross right there? Looking for a second cross right now. You got that one right there. See the cross? Looking for another cross right here. Woo. To the downside, baby. Goliath Flora is saying property prices are so high. South Texas versus cheap. Yeah, was it West Texas still pretty cheap in some places? Yes and no. West Texas used to be really cheap. I was looking at some properties in Texas recently. I was talking to Joe yesterday about Tampa. It used to be cheap, and it's not anymore. Rohit saying he drove to Maine from New Jersey, took up to 12 hours in a Tesla. It took 12 hours to get up there. Yeah, I like Maine. Inventory. Housing crash from Bay Births way down. Airbnbs keep inventory off market. Record housing is being built. Yeah, I agree with that one too. Chase Winter saying dump this garbage down to 415, then 400. Yeah, I don't see 415. I see 410. There's a big giant gap down here too. Do you see this gap? There's a big giant gap. If you look at the bottom of my chart right here, there's a big giant gap down here. You see it right there? Big giant gap down there. I'm going to draw on that gap down there.
Seen the Palestinian foreign minister calling for an immediate ceasefire in Gaza to let aid into the strip.
This stream is sponsored by TickStrike. Tick Strike allows you to actually hear order flow in futures, forex, and stock instruments. Get a free trial at tickstrike.com.
HYG not coming down as of yet, still parked driving sideways. S&P weak right now. Yields catching that bounce. Dixie parked right now, 106.22. NASDAQ looking weak right now, has the second roll coming in. We had the first roll earlier. Second roll, and this is a 5-minute chart that I'm looking at here. Apple rolling down right now. I'm going to bring this up so you can see it. A little bit more for gappage over here. A little bit more. So you can, if you want to see the gap, it's right here. Right there's that gap right down there. Almost got that gap closed right now. So I'm going to switch over and show you the gap. It's right there for you, so you want to see that gap. Right down here. This is the gap going back to, I'm going to show it to you back here. Oh, that gappage right in here, baby. Whoop. Right down there. See all that buyers right here on that same gap? A little bit more gap left here. And you got S1 down at 417.35. A little more gap down here, too. If you will follow my cursor down here in the bottom of the, right down here, there's a little tiny bit more down there. 2 little bits left on that gap left behind right now. Last of that gap is at 42.1.40. Not seeing much reaction from VIX at this point. Excuse me. Snap coming down into its half-hour trigger at 964 and 960. Talked about that earlier. Microsoft has 326.82 that you're looking for. 326.82. There goes the full gap that's just been taken out on SPY. Let's see if we can get down to the 417. If you are in puts, you want to be closing your puts right now. There is a target lower. It's at 417.35. The gap is now closed on SPOOs. Or on SPY, at least. Let me check SPX really quick. Still more gap to go on SPX. So this is, if you look at SPX right here, there's still more gap down here to be closed. So likely more downside to come on SPY. $4218.79. So your bottom chart down here is SPX. None of this gap has been closed down here. Sorry, I'm not paying attention to this. Keep your eyes on the bottom chart down below. So you can go to the Weeble chart here. This is SPX right here.
According
So
to
you
two
guys can
security
see this.
sources, rockets attack Iraq's Ain al-Assad airbase, which hosts US and other international forces west of Baghdad.
VIX now finally starting to rise here. TNX still bloodbathing here. See if we can get something like that right there. Still more gap to close on SPX. That up. That one over there. Right there. Check Visa and Waste Management, Texas Instruments. Close that one up. Bounce here and SPY, but we'll look for a rejection up above here and see if it can come back down. Look at the chart down below your bottom left hand side of your screen. So we can catch one more rip down here, close this gap up. Hang tight 1 second. I got to take a call from my daughter. Hello. Is this Josie? You're on your way home? Drive safe. I love you. Let me know when you're nearby. If you have any problems, give me a call. All right, bye-bye. I think I had my mic on. Sorry about that. I think I had my mic on. I was speaking to my daughter. Yeah, just keep your eyes on this SPX gap. It's still not closed down below here. And I'm looking for a bounce here. I got no more puts, so I'm looking to buy this bounce if I can catch this right down here. I don't like this like last little gap fill, because if they leave it behind and just start heading higher, and there's a gap right here too, so there's now a gap created right here. Yeah, I'm looking to enter some calls right here, but I'm not quite. Let me go over here and show you guys this. So this is SPX right here. This is the bounce squeeze higher. Now I'm thinking about buying calls here, but like those, sometimes I'll leave this stuff behind. But I'm really looking for just to retest that 1 minute and then the quick closure, and then we're out of here. A little bit more down to go here. A little bit more. It's 4218.79. 4218.79. I don't see any gaps lower than that. Yeah, I don't see nothing down there. Just that last little bit down there. God damn, I'm looking at Friday calls. They're expensive as fuck. There's a gap still on HYG that hasn't been filled as well. HYG just trading sideways right now, and they got a giant gap on HYG. Down to 71.87. Watch out below here. If you're in calls, It's not quite time. My view, it's not quite time to buy calls. 71.87, gap still left unfilled. NDX has a gap that needs filled. 14,61815. Just sitting here waiting. Let me read the chat. Yeah, my mic was on. I apologize. I thought I had the mic off. You heard me talking to my daughter. That was my oldest daughter. My wife and kids are coming back from vacation today. They spent an extra day or 2 days. Dixie's starting to move higher. Yeah, VIX is starting to finally move higher right now. I'm looking to see if HYG will close that fucking lower gap and then pull. You get the target on SPY up here at 417. 417.36. Right there. Leave that up right there. Gap's being closed right now on SPX. Visa testing its hourly trigger currently. If you're a Visa bull, I'm trying to get out of Visa. I sold Verizon this morning. I'm looking to sell Visa at some point today if possible. I want to see if this hourly trigger holds on Visa or not. Let's check Snap here. I'd like to trade Snap if possible. Snap coming into its hourly trigger at $9.60. Let's look at Googs. Goog testing its hourly trigger right now as well. SPX closing the gap right now. Where is that? I need the screenshot, not the. I need the screenshot, not the. There we go. That's better. I'm at waste management now. Waste management testing its monthly trigger here at 153.76.
The Fed makes no bids for the 2-year note sale coming up at the top of the hour. So again, Fed making no bids for the 2-year note sale.
This stream is sponsored by To The Tick. Get free daily pivot points, Fibonacci, and market profile levels by signing up at tothetick.com.
Republican US Speaker candidate Emma falling short of the 217 vote threshold.
You got stopped out,
However, voting
Turkey
does
McNugget.
continue, but again, Republican US
Or no,
Speaker
Beartown Sheriff, you
candidate
got
Emma
stopped out, Turkey McNugget.
falling
Cap's a
short
good
of
dad.
the,
My favorite thing about the man.
of the votes
Hell yeah, I
for the
love
House
my
Speaker
kids, man.
position.
Hell yeah. My buddy last night, I called my buddy last night.
So according
And,
to Nikolai, Japan weighs one-time $260 tax cuts to ease inflation's pain.
It's starting to cut down that gap down there. I talked to a friend of mine last night, and his dad is getting older, right? And his dad's divorced. He's an only son, and I think he's an only son. I don't know. Yeah, he's an only son, and but his dad and mom are divorced, right? But his dad's getting much older, and his dad always spent time with him. Seeing that gap get closed right now on SPX, his but his dad always stayed relevant to his son's life. And, this is kind of a cool thing. So his dad came over last night to watch a game with his son. Now, his son is professional, has his own life, right? His own things that he does. But the dad had spent all these years watching sports with his kid, with his son, right? So they had something to share when he was younger. The son picked up watching sports, and he was watching this game with his son last night. So he was like, "Hey, I'm with my dad." I actually know his dad too, or I kind of know his dad. Hung out with his dad a few times. Went to a hockey game with his dad. But it's something that they share. And his dad's getting older, and he's kind of sick now. Not sick, but not doing well. And having his son still stay in his life. This guy's like older, he's divorced, and he still has his son in his life. And they're able to spend time together, quality time, all that kind of stuff. So you can't give that stuff, or not give that stuff up. But what's the point of having kids? I guess if you don't get that enjoyment out of them when they're adults, right? And so we were talking about it last night, and I was like, you know what, I'm not going to stop by. I was going to stop by last night and see him, and I was like, I'm just going to stay home, hang out with your dad. But we talked about dads last night, and we're almost there. Just a little bit more here, a little bit tiny more. I want to see that last little bit here, a little bit of a reversal candle here, but I want to see that. I want to see a little tiny bit there taken out. Finally seeing HYG with the roll, trying to close its gap to the downside. I think we get that 417 too on SPY. See if we can push it down there and grab that 417. And we were talking about his dad last night, like hanging out with your dad. And, they were just having guy night. And they ride motorcycles together. They go, as a matter of fact, they offer me to go up all the time to, they do all this like dad and men shit, like go to a cabin, go hiking, go biking, all kinds of cool stuff. And I don't know, my own daughters, I hope that when they're adults, I can partake in their adult life where they want me to, of course. I don't want to impose in their adult life, but
are expected to cost around 5 trillion yen. That does bring us now to 10 minutes away from the top of the hour. The US is due to sell 2-year notes. So the prior bid to cover was 2273 with the prior high yield of 5.085%.
come on, close that fucking gap, dude. Seriously. It's like watching fucking paint peel. What do we see what you guys are saying? First murder puts, then Slater McCall's. Daughters are good for men, good for the soul. Sons are good too, just harder. Yeah, I like the daughters. I don't know. Probably wouldn't be the best dad to a son. My father was really fucking hard on me. I'm afraid that I would pass that on to my. I feel I'm not like it's like it's not real, but I'm like yeah, I probably wasn't given sons for that reason. Probably wouldn't have been the best dad to a son. I would be really hard on him. Although my wife is kind of hard on my daughters, but thankfully it's not me having sons that I could be hard on. I don't have to do much to get a reaction of my disappointment to my daughters. Here comes that gap right now. It's getting filled on SPX. We can catch a bounce here. 421879. You plan on imposing your ass off? These little turds aren't getting rid of me. The passing along wealth. I like the idea of passing along wealth, but I think that's a benefit, but not a feature. The one thing my dad was my dad specifically to me when I was young did not want to do that for me. He didn't want to pass along any wealth to me. He was like, "Get out there, do your own thing. Pull up your bootstraps, son. Put down that avocado toast and take care of yourself." My dad was really hard on me. Now my daughters, I'm hard on them, but I kind of feel like the young people are fucked today, so they can't really do that. And I think I would do the same for my son today. I think I would. I don't think I would ever treat my kids like my father treated me. But I get why he did what he did with me. A little bit more gap, just a little tiny bit down here. We're close. We're almost there. Just a teeny tiny bit more over here. My my father, man, he was hard ass, and I didn't like him for a long time. I ended up going back and apologizing to him multiple times into my adulthood. I realized what he did for me. I realized what he was doing for me. Now as I get older, trying to turn me into the man that I am today. But at the time, I did not like. Oh, fuck yeah. 15 fucking Delta, dude. Are you shitting me? I'm about to add some 429. I was going to do 430 Cs. For Friday, they came down from 50 cents just now to 43 cents, but I'm looking at 429s. Those are 58 cents. That's for October 27th.
It's time now at the top of the hour. The US is due to sell $51 billion in a 2-year note sale. Prior bid to cover was 2 to 73, with the prior high yield of 5.085%. So this week's auction cycle is starting with today's $51 billion 2-year note sale. Will be followed by auctions of $52 billion in 5-year notes on Wednesday and $38 billion in 7-year notes on Thursday. So worth noting, the $3 billion increase in this 2-year sale over the September auction offers potential headwinds, but a flight to quality backdrop remains, and a large futures short in the tenor, shown by positioning data, could support the demand as well. So JP Morgan strategists see the larger auction size requiring an additional concession versus Monday's closing level in order to be digested smoothly, despite
Almost there,
greater
almost
front-end
there.
stability and more dovish recent Fed speak. And so the aforementioned positioning data from the CFTC shows that speculators were net short 1.36 million 2-year note futures, a record amount which may support the auction in terms of short covering flow.
God, I want that one right fucking there, dude. Added some 430 Cs for October 27th. I was going to go 429, but I went with 4 fucking 30, so fuck it. So Friday, 430 Cs. I still think we close this shit out, but we're in case they leave this little fucker behind back here. So I'm long right now, 430C for October 27th. They could still reverse this and come back down here. You could still see a little sneaky like squeeze up here and then boom back down and then off and running. We also didn't tag S1 yet either. Now, VIX is not showing. VIX is not really showing like doom and gloom, none of that stuff. And then HYG, that's in relation to that 2-year note, is just sitting there. Just hustling sideways right now. So you could still see a quick reversal here. Bloodbath and then the bounce. Sometimes they like to leave that little tiny bit, though, back here. So we'll keep an eye on this and see if it reverses. Well, let's see if we can bring that down. That's fucking stupid. See if they tag that last little bit down here. But yeah, my kids, like, I want to be around. Like, I don't know why you would have kids if you couldn't enjoy them, right? Or have them in your life as you get older. That's one of the things, like, if you're going to have kids, like, why did you have your kids? I guess you have some other motivations, but for myself, I had my kids because I like life. And I want to share my life with them. And then I also want to be there for them as they grow older. And I want to enjoy them as I grow older and die. I guess that can be kind of greedy. But
is going to come out at the top of the hour. The auction results following a minute to 2 minutes after this.
Just a note here, you had a bounce on Waste Management on their 153.70, right around there. I think it's trading 154.38 right now. Microsoft. Oh, that was almost too perfect right there. And check Microsoft really quick. This is the one that I'm interested in. Microsoft coming back down into not quite where it should be. It didn't catch the 326.82. I really want to see it's trading 328.10, 328.05. Let's see if Microsoft can grab that lower end, that 326.82.
Treasury when issued 2-year yield 5.055% ahead of the auction. So again, pre-sale when issued yield at 5.055%.
Seeing a reaction now to the upside on HYG. Dixie going higher right now still. Bounce on Apple. VIX still trading higher now. Bounce on TNX. Bounce on NDX. NDX in a 5-minute. Look for a rejection above at 14,669.52. Maybe 673. Green, baby. So my kids, like, I guess it's kind of selfish, right, to say, hey, I want to have kids. I want to, like, I fucking had a great life. I'm like, I want my kids to have a great life, and then maybe it's kind of like selfish to be like, yeah, I want to also have kids so they have a great life, but then so they spend time with me. And then, when you grow old, if you don't have kids, you have to create friendships and have family that'll be there with you, unless you're a person. I guess I would understand completely, because I have some friends that are like, they're single and they like being single. They like solitary living and all that kind of stuff. So I guess if I was that kind of person, I probably wouldn't have had kids either. So I understand that want and need as well. What are your thoughts about having kids? Or do you guys like kids or don't like kids or can't afford kids or want to be able to afford kids, or you have kids or they're grown up? They're not easy. They're expensive. They're not easy. They take all of your time, or at least all of my time. They like encompass my entire life.
So the bid to cover ratio 2 to 64,
You guys are,
2 to
where
64.
you guys are
High
putting
rate
up
at
here.
5.055%.
Dude, I'm not getting YouTube comments again. What the fuck is with YouTube, dude?
The pre-sale when issued yield.
So Pure
The
Merit
US
Caps
sells
earnings
$51
play.
billion,
There's a 2-year
winning
note
63
auction. Should
spot
price here in
46%,
1 minute or
bids
so.
high.
Yep. Seems like
Primary
420 has
dealers
to be hit
taking
for today.
17.63%
Old Dads and
of the
Netflix. Good
sale.
watch. You guys watch that
Direct
one?
20.33%.
You need a female in
Indirect
most cases.
62.05%.
They're leaving this gap down here. I don't like it right now. I'm looking at this gap on SPX. I'm like,
This stream is sponsored by
God
TickStrike.
damn it.
TickStrike allows you to actually hear order flow in futures, forex, and stock
Dude, just
insurance.
knock that fucking gap
Get a free
out.
trial at tickstrike.com.
Trading 51 on 430C right now. It's looking pretty good. They're at 44 cents just a little while ago. See what you got. Kids are the hardest thing in life, but they're also the best part of life. Nice little bounce down there. Let's see if they get this rejection of the downside or not on SPX. I don't know if they will. Not out of the woods yet for bulls. Little baby girl coming any day now. Girls are awesome, dude. You're gonna love your daughters. Like, dude, like baby girls are like the best. Like little balls of joy and wonder. Son is the greatest thing in my life. My social life and everything else just enjoyable about life has been dead since he was born. Yeah, there is some bittersweetness to it too, right? And there is a lot of adjustment to lifestyle. You know, one of the hardest things for my wife and I was, one of the hardest things that we went through was all the adjustments as the kids grew up. Like when of course, when they're babies, you can't do what you used to do.
Last up, 2.2 basis points, around 5.0839%.
Then there's a moment where you can do whatever you like. You can cycle back into doing what you were doing before because they're not in school yet. You're like, you want to go do this, you want to go do that, put them on the back, we'll go here, we'll go there, do all this stuff. But then they go back, then they're like back into child care and school. And even right now, our life is, I thought our life would get easier as our kids grew older. Keep your eye on this down here, but there still could be this more like bam to the downside and then that run higher. So if you still haven't bought anything here, you still have a chance down here to possibly see this gap get closed. Markup or markdown Wednesdays. Whoop, whoop. Trading 53 right now. There's another gap up here in SPX. I'm going to switch back to SPY. Should I switch back to SPY? Yeah. If we start to turn back down to the downside, I'll switch back to SPX. Looks like they're leaving the door open down below. The algorithms are like, yeah, we'll leave that down there just in case we need to come back and revisit it. So you got the SPY gap fill up here. That was filled. And then you had a little bit of a sneaky peek on SPX down below. So this gap is done. Now for the bulls, what they don't want to see happen is they don't want to see a rejection above, right? They don't want to see us. We don't want to see like the scream higher up here to the hour and half hour and the rejection to the downside to trade out that S1 down below. So that's all we're waiting on right here. That's that S1 down here. Don't want to see this, right? You should be positioned at this point for earnings. You should have no reason not to be positioned here. The one thing that we don't want to see is that kind of bullshit down there, right? Then you get into earnings and you get told yes or no end of day. So we'll keep this one open down here. There are triple leveraged. Well, let's look at yeah, so it is down there. It actually is in my target right now. Hold on here. I got a target of it of 80.28 and 69.81. So my target on TLT was 80.28, and we're fucking right there, dude. Still no reversal though. What I would say is this. If you're looking for, let's look at TLT. Fuck it. We'll just look at TLT right now. Okay, so we're going to switch over to trigger full screen. We're going to go to TLT. We're going to look at 1 day. So I don't know if you can see these yellow lines that I have here. Why are these important to me? There's a couple things I want to show you here in TLT. So number one, why do I like TLT here? I measured this out. But you known demand down here at 80, what is that? 80.28, right? So known demand down here. This is all known, right? I think I measured out that move down to 69.81 down there. Would I buy TLT here? I wanted to say something about this, and I didn't, and I should have. And that is that if you look back on this, even here, if you look back on this in the future, like a year, 2 years, 3 years, I don't think it's going to matter. It's just going to be up. You look back, like when we're microscoping TLT, it's not going to matter. You're going to look back in like 2-3 years and be like, I should have fucking bought, right? Now, on what you want to be looking for in TLT here is for this right here, at least on velocity. You see all this velocity coming down in the daily. This is the weekly velocity, and this is the monthly velocity. Even this bottoming down here, this is a higher low right here. My thought process here would be, yeah, if you set your sights on much farther down the road, 6 months, year, 2-3 years down the road, you're going to look back on this and be like, I should have bought that fucking dip, right? Can it go down to that $68? Abso-fucking-lutely. That's 69.81. Can it go down there? Absolutely. If you're looking for more short term, there are better ways to express TLT. There are double, triple. We just got to bounce off that hourly trigger. Did you see it on SPOOs? Now TLT, right? Oh, wait a minute. Let's do the 30-minute here. So on the daily trigger, it looks great. On daily time frame, excuse me. On the 30-minute, it looks great as well. Now, saying that, TLT is above its hourly trigger. That's a nice bounce right there. Your target is 87.55. So your target right now for TLT, I would if you wanted something more short term, I would say get a triple leveraged way to express that trade to the upside, to trade that 87.55 price target. Your target above that, you're likely going to get some kind of sell to the downside from there. All right, you'll see it right there. They'll try to sell it back down to you, or you break above it, start to consolidate. The hourly comes up and starts to bring you up to your second target. So like a triple leveraged option, I would say take the money and run up here, and then wait for it to get above the 87.55, and then you can trade the 95.80, and that would be your range right there, somewhere down in here, and then consolidation. Then that daily comes up and lifts you above here, and you can rocket ship this to the upside. Yeah, I like TLT here. I do. I like it. We're above the hourly trigger right now. I love it on the intraday, I guess, right now. You don't want to be below 84.16 on TLT. And what you need to know here is, let's say you come up in here, right? You don't want to be long here because you can get the rejection, the continuation to the downside, okay? Now you can take that long there. You don't want to, if you start to see this happen, you're going to get short, right? But if price breaks up into here, whoop, and holds, you're then stuck with trading this zone. Does that make sense? Until a decision is made. So you can only trade this inside this box. Now, you can't get you can't take a short here and just hold it expecting that to happen because it could reverse back up on you, right? Make sense? You can trade inside here, but you can't get conviction trading in here. Now, if price does come up in here, we bounce up and down, and it resolves to the downside, yeah, you can do a conviction trade there. If it resolves to the upside and breaks above and you get the daily trigger helping you out and the hourly trigger helping you out, and it resolves to the upside, you can then take that conviction trade above to the upside to clear all this crap out back here and try to get some new highs. So this box right here that I'm showing, this is the simplification of this, right? Is the zone for you. It's very important for you to understand this zone. Now, I will say something to you. On a 30-minute time frame, this looks gorgeous. This looks kind of okay. Okay. But that one right there looks gorgeous. So maybe we come up here, right? Trade 226.85, bounce back down. You get the hourly trigger to help you get inside the box. Whoop. Once you're inside the box, you're trading this. Meanwhile, as the days pass, these come down here, right? And they pick you up to grab you to go up here and trade that 247.50. Maybe you get another rejection. The hourly comes back up and the daily comes back up. And that's the power move right there. That 235 or so right in there is the power move for you if you're a bull to the upside. But this whole zone in here, be careful of this. This is this is all day tradery in here. This is the finger trap for bulls right here. That's Tesla for you. Okay, Tesla did that one. No S1 yet for the Bears. Bears thinking that we were heading lower. Bears thinking that they were going to rain on the bull parade this morning. Just trying to grab some liquidity, just trying to get some stops, just trying to get everybody all bared up. Manipulation Tuesdays. Have a bull cross coming up right here. Bears with no will to go down right here. Gonna expect this trade right here to happen. Get above this, come back down, and then wham to the upside. I thought it. So the market up scenario started yesterday. Not today. It began yesterday. It began on Monday. What happened was last week, career low is they had a stop hunt that began on Wednesday, I believe, Tuesday or Wednesday to the downside. And they got that big fat print. They got the big fat print in bonds. They got the big fat print to the downside on a Friday. And then the real trade was on Monday to the upside. So Monday was the day that you should have been long. Found a low. And I don't know how long. The only thing that I would be tacit about on that opinion that you read. The only caveat I would say here is, the only caveat. Well, so I said this. Some people know this and some people don't. Some of the shit I don't say publicly to anyone, even in the Discord to anybody, because I don't want people trading this stuff and being like, "Hey, Cap, fuck you." So if it doesn't go that way, now this is the time for you to place your Christmas trade, okay? You should. This is the time. Like, not financial advice. Do not follow my advice. Here, matter of fact, fuck it, I said it, so I'll say it publicly, okay? Haven't said it everywhere. There, said it. Okay, so I made it public. There's some caveats to that. It's like the holiday trade started yesterday. People are going to get pissed even saying that. It lasts into December 31st. Saying that, though, there are material risks to the downside to the market and that holiday trade not playing itself out. It can definitely go against. The crash trade that you guys are all talking about the past 5 days, it's longer now, right? Past 7 or 8 sessions. The black market, holiday massacre. I don't know, not holiday massacre. The Black Friday, Black Monday, and 1987, all that stuff. Yeah, like, is there more downside possibilities? Yes. But in and around even last week, the trade was viable. Even with the move down last week, for like a December 31st, or if you want, depending on how you structure, you can structure for January and close them in December. But that's all valid. The only my two issues that I have with the trade, there's always risk with that trade, right? But the two concerns that I have is, the first one would be, my first concern is, how do I word these two? How do I try to express these two concerns that I have?
The legality of Israeli occupation of Gaza.
The first one that I want to say is,
this stream is sponsored by To The Tick.
Absolutely.
Get free daily pivot points, Fibonacci, and market profile levels by signing up at tothetick.com.
Like, there's absolutely there's an inherent risk to the market from banks. And so this whole year, right? Let's go back to October to today, okay? This whole year we've talked, October of last year. Let's talk about October last year. We knew and know that, or at least I know, not we, or I guess I've always said that I expect at some point into spring of 2024, maybe summer, to go back down and recheck that October low of 2022. That's all a function of the end of rate increases, the rise in unemployment, a bottoming of inflation, true or not. So that inflation, trade rate, GDP sliding off. We've talked if you've been in the stream for me for years now, you know this trade, and we almost always do it. So you go back and you check, right? Now there's a mechanic in here where what Jerome said this last showed and said in this last rate increase, there's a disagreement. There's even analysts out there. I read you some analyst comments yesterday. This isn't me. This is like professionals. And even their professional opinion is they're calling out the Fed and saying, fuck you. There's no way you're going to have higher rates for longer into December of 2024 at all. That ain't happening. So there's likely like a positioning from banks here to say, fuck you, we're gonna front run this shit on you into spring and summer of 2024. And we'll see if you're fucking still raising rates then. You get what I'm saying? And the mechanics of this is where unemployment's rising to 5-6% into the summer, fall, and winter of 2024, and he's hammering away raising rates or it's threatening you. And the reality is they're going to be chasing as price goes down and trying to cut rates as that destruction happens. Now, the banks also tend to front run these things and try to not second guess it, but they try to start it before it's going to happen, right? So you've got analysts out there that are like, hey, where are we at right now? It's October 24th, right? So the clock is ticking for a bull for that to happen in 2024. And so that's likely to happen. So that caveat would be, does it happen sooner than later or later than sooner, right? It's not something that's predefined like, oh, it's going to happen on February. It's going to happen in April or where those targets are. So can we have like a Christmas rally from here into end of year? Sure. Temper your expectations. And then do I expect some kind of a roll down in next year? I still do. I don't expect them to be raising rates into December of 2024, no matter what the fuck he tells you. I don't, because I see unemployment raising or rising into December of 2024. I see a bottom to inflation. I see those GDP sliding off slightly. And analysts are telling me that same thing. Regardless if it's a mild no recession or not, we're going to go back and check that fucking low in October. It's not guaranteed, but if we break above the previous high from December of 2022, right, we're still going to go back and check it one more time, even if it's just a touch and go into the upside. We didn't get it this year, right? We didn't break a new high right now. We didn't get the new high to even come back and check that previous high of right now in December of 2022 to just touch and go and move forward. We're being rejected right now in the previous high of December of 2022. So likely one way or another, we're going to do that, some kind of a function of that in 2024. Some kind of a function of that, whether it's a new all-time high from December 2022. Let me explain this better to you. Let me show it to you in a better way. Hold on here. A new layout. Let me express this in a better way. If any of you guys understand about accumulation and distribution, I'm going to simplify this for you, okay? This is with nothing on it, just an SPX chart. Real simple here. Gather around, young traders. Old traders can follow me in all this stuff. If you're a young trader, you probably don't know this. So previous high back here in SPX, right? There's a couple likelihood scenarios. We trade up, you get the new high, right? Whoop, right there. And you recheck it and continue higher. Okay? Or, hold on here. Rather than talking about it, we'll just show it. We'll fucking make it crayons. This is the previous high right here. First scenario is where you fail to make a new high, and you actually just begin to go down and retest these previous lows, okay? This scenario likely and historically does not end right there. You actually end up finding a new low. It's very common, okay? Very, very common if you fail to make the new high. Now, scenario number 2 is where, now even with this failure, you actually go up there and make that new high. Okay? You get above it. Now, what we do from this point here, right, is twofold. This is the touch and go. You touch and you go to new highs. The second scenario here is you get the new high and you don't do the touch and go. You actually reject and you only retest this previous low. You actually don't retest. You actually right above it. And then you're off and running. This is the whole like trough scenario here, right? You get the trough, you break above it, boom, you're gone, right? So those are the kind of scenarios you have in front of you. Okay. So right now these bears are telling you you failed to get the new high. That leads to not only the retest down here, but new lows needing to be found. Now, there's a front running action to this happening right now. There's an expectation. There's an expectation for next year here. Here's December. Here's December right there, right? There's an expectation. You're going to have your February low over here somewhere and your April low somewhere over here, right? There's an expectation, well, fuck it, let's get it on right now. Or even if you're going to get up there, you're still going to get down there and see that in that time period, right? And this whole idea here is they either get it going right now, or when does it happen, right? Does it happen after January? Does it become something where you have your holiday rally, failure, right, to get that new high into January and February, and then you actually see that down quarter, and you got February bounce, April bounce, and then we're off and running. And then there's a bigger fear here that if we don't get that new high, that even in January and April, you would see another failure, and 2024 would be fucking ugly, like straight up ugly to the downside over here. You can kiss all that shit away. Without that new high up here, you can kiss the bounce and go in springtime. Now, there's an attempt at front running this right now, right? You see it. You can see the attempt at front running this, and that's what they don't want to front run and have it get squeezed out, right? And then actually have it happen, and then you're off and running up and to the right. So my first caveat on, hey, you should be good to go from here. I guess you could say, yeah, you're good to go here. But where is here and where does it end? Does it end in December or whatever? And I don't know what to say to you on that. Get back to this. Delete that. Leave that right there. Nope. We'll just get back to this one. We'll close that one out. So why am I? This is where the second caveat comes in. The second problem that I have right now is some of these tickers are set up to sell the news, right? So like you saw it in financials. I'm seeing it in like Google, I'm seeing it in Amazon, I'm seeing it in like Apple, I'm seeing it in these companies that should not be there. Like there should be like this idea that we can run up into December, and I'm not seeing that in this earnings season. I'm not seeing like, hey, I'm not seeing it in social media. I'm not seeing it. I'm seeing some of the analysts say it, but I'm not seeing it where people are like, hey, you know what? We sold down into this ER season. You should be buying all these fucking companies on a low and holding them into end of year. And hey, we're expecting like whatever low we have in springtime or late winter is going to be higher than the lows that you've seen in this correction in the fall. Like not seeing any of that stuff. There's a lot of like, and then you get the banks trying to front run this whole entire move in 2024. You get the fucking Fed telling you're going to go higher for longer and all, like they're showing you 5-year, 10-year charts. You know that, it's hard. It's hard to say. Like temper the bullishness, maybe. Those are my fears. I guess if I had fears, that's what they are. Can Bitcoin be similar? Yeah, absolutely. Fuck yeah, Bitcoin can be similar. So, like when you look back on these like if we look back on this in 3 years, 5 years, you'll see all these mechanics will play out. There'll be an expectation that these mechanics play out. The only way that they wouldn't play out, or the whammy, would be that Jerome is not lying. If Jerome is not lying, if Jerome is serious, and the banks are wrong, right? You will actually see a grind sideways and continuation to the upside for could be years. You could see like not a dead market, but like a slow grind up sideways and up for multiple years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. like a lost, just a lost market for that's the Volcker scenario. That's 1960s, 1970s type scenario. You just keep grinding. You have a pullback. You have a correction. You grind. You have a pullback and a correction. I don't know. I don't know if that happens. That scenario happens. I don't trust the politics. I don't trust the greed that people have. I don't trust the greed of banks to force that hey, let's go back down there again. But all these mechanics at play right now, we're condensing in time. Like time is burning, right? Time is burning. Like time was going against the Bears in late 2022. The Fed was fucking the Bears with time, and right now the Bulls are starting down a path. They're beginning their journey of, hey man, time's not on your side, brother. So, you know, the Bulls don't have a lot of time for this stuff to play out next year. So, I don't know. Like, I have mixed feelings on it. If you're saying till middle of or beginning of November, I think that's fine. Middle of November, that's fine. But, yeah, it's a tough one right now. It's a tough one to see right now. Christmas play. Grind sideways and up into. Good question. You want to see it? I'll show it to you. You want to see the Christmas play? I'll show it to you right now. Hold on here. I'll show you the Christmas play. I posted it yesterday. Hold on here. I posted it without you even seeing it, didn't I? Right here. Give me a second here and I'll show you guys. It's right here. I mean, this isn't too hard to see, right? Can I put a marker on this? I thought this new fucking image thing sucks. Okay, so watch this right here, okay? On this markup right here. So you got your first low right here. First low right there. You're coming into your next low right now, right? So you should be coming in here, right? And trying to buy this like call spreads in here, right? Then you got your little bit, like this is probably December 1st or something like that. And then you'll have a 0 date play into the third, not zero. Yeah, personally, I believe that's 0 dates in the end of year. But right now, you should be buying like call spreads for your holiday rally. Do you see it right there? It's fairly simple, right? Now, what is this expectation here into end of year is a big question mark. Do you just do like something that's in the money? Is it something where you do an in the money? So where are we at? We're at 422. You guys see this right here? Let me see if I can cancel. No. Yeah, cancel. So here's your trade as a bull. Now, this is SPX. This is your end of the year trade that you should be putting on, okay? So, and you've got, you know, the main concern for me is, even though that's set up to do, even though we're set up to have that trade, do you temper your expectations? Do you temper the results of those expectations? Does it get thwarted in service of knowing that banks likely want to have a retest of that previous fucking low in October? When does that previous low recheck come into play? Does it come in play February? Does it come in play in April? Does it come in play? Have we already begun it right now? So it's like spread out. It doesn't look so bad, but you know, yeah, it's hard. So, anyways, if you're gonna do your holiday trade, right, and the reason why it's a spread is because you're gonna see that grind all through into the end of the year. TLT, yeah, I want to see. Yeah, I don't like TLT. I'm like, I fucking hate TLT, dude. It's a bunch of fucking old guys. I fucking hate that trade. I hate trading DIA. I hate trading. Well, I like SDAO. I like triple leverage TLT, triple leverage SDAO, all of that shit. I like that stuff, but I don't like directly trading the Dow Jones. All right, I got just refreshed the chat so I can hopefully see YouTube's chats again. 1229, 430, You guys want to look at them? Hey, let's look at them right now. Yeah, you got to put a little bit of risk on there, and they'll get cheaper. Not financial advice. This is from this point forward, not financial advice. You can do an outside the money call spread, and they'll fucking be dirt cheap, and they'll pay a fuck ton. And you don't have to hold them to expire. You just need to directionally go in the way you want. You can also do a credit call spread and do them outside the money. And if you directionally start ramping, you're gonna make bank. You don't have to hold them into the end of the time period, any of that kind of stuff. I usually, if it's like a December 31st or something like that, you're doing like a, and I wouldn't do it like December 1st. I would do like December 31st. If it was me, December 31st, outside the money, and you ride them up. You ride them up and out whenever it happens. Happens early. Every year there's a big fight about the Santa rally or the holiday rally. They say every year every year the holiday rally is early or it's late. Sometimes it comes in January.
The Pentagon say that since October 17th,
it can come like the first 2 weeks of January, so you might not get you can even put it for like January 15th or something, just to buy that extra time in case it comes late this year.
This stream is sponsored by
You make it outside the money. You can just let them sit there. If market goes against you, he probably comes back and swings high and takes it out.
Trial at tickstrike.com.
But every year we not every year. We've had a few in my recent memory. Two, I think, two bad ones that I can remember. But and then it becomes shit talked about for the next 2 months, right? You end up shit talking holiday rallies. If you are in that trade too, the cool part is you can fuck around with people on the internet. Because if you're in the trade, you're like, when's the holiday rally starting? And then you do the holiday rally shit for you like fucking with your friends, like even if you don't like each other, you just fuck with each other. You know, when the fuck is the holiday rally starting? I was told there'd be a holiday rally, you know. It's like a part of the year, man. It's like a part of the tradition. Sparky, you know all about the holiday rally, dude. Sparky, you get involved in so Sparky just commented, right? He fucking knows all about the holiday rally. He gets all involved on FinTwit with it too. I've seen you talk about the holiday rally in past years. I know you, bro. And that's the cool part is you get to stir the shit pot on it. You know, the people be like you're never not getting a holiday rally. People be like, I'm the Grinch this year. You're not getting a holiday rally.
So Iraq's PM Sudani says that foreign oil companies operating in the Kurdish region are informed us that if an agreement is reached on oil production costs and contracts, they will resume oil production within a month.
Holiday rally, bro. We got the holiday rally coming. On that note, too. If you are a the holiday rally, dude. On that note, we're coming into Halloween. If you have a what are you gonna dress up as for Halloween? Let me know. What are you gonna dress up as for Halloween? In the chat, let me know what you're gonna. Oh, you're still in the Sir Doom. So let me ask you guys a serious question. This is another serious question. So we made a video series. We posted them exclusively in the Discord, and we said expect a correction, right? People were like, fuck you. Nobody watched it. Like 70 people watched it. Like a week later, it was like 1,500 views. So now that we're down here, so when we're up there, everybody's bullish. When we're down here, everybody's bearish. Everybody is bearish. Right? Now, I'd realize that 430 looked like it would be the bottom. We have an extension of the downside of 420. But let me ask you a serious question. Are you bearish here? This is the same pep talk as to expect a correction. Your bearishness is making me bullish as fuck. So it's that same fucking video. It's happening right now. Start getting bullish. Expect a turnaround. even if you got a day or 2 or 3 days, you're like, oh, cap, it's going down 60, 70 points. You're gonna look back in 2-3 months and say, oh shit, it's running up to the upside now. So you get what I'm saying? Think about that, right? Try to think about that. Do you guys want a series of videos? We're gonna make like 3 videos. I will. I'll put them to the Discord. How about that? No, I am always the opposite. 100% opposite. So, no. Yeah, no. The history's on the side of that holiday rally happening. Generally speaking, the forces against you on that not happening. Now, the timing is usually fucked up. It's usually not when you want it to happen or when you think it's going to happen. Ooh, look at those big old red bars up there. What are they doing up there? Look at these guys. What's going on up there? They got more supply to draw. Look at that supply up there. Woof. You shall not pass up here. That's that pin at the end of the day. I want you to see that right there. You see that end of the day pin up here? Well, we're going to talk about that right now. We're going to talk about this week, and this is the walk the plank that's being set up right now up here. Oh, dude, trading 62 right now on Friday. Whew, up 40%, something like that. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, smashing and bashing, baby. Oh, we got the bull cluster going on again. Make some money. Dude, Breakout Bob, what are you saying? You're terrible, Breakout Bob. Okay, so what do we do here? Do we close the Friday calls up on those big red bars up there and then leave the 0 dates on for the fun times? I don't want to get trapped in the fun times after the after hours, do I? Let's talk about that right now, okay? We're going to talk about that right now. You guys are terrible. You guys are mean. Hold on a second here. You guys are terrible. All right, let's talk about talk about. Hold on here. Yeah, I don't have the full suit, but I could get one. I could order one and have it here probably by Halloween. DTM, what up? What's going on, brother? Rinse and repeat. Trading 67 on 44 right now on Friday calls. The 0 dates on the move right now too. Oh boy. Okay, so we're gonna get in a Weeble right now. All right. Let's talk turkey. Let's talk Halloween. Hold on here. We got some stuff to do here. Oh boy. Okay. Today is Tuesday. We got Wednesday. We got Thursday. We got Friday here. Whoop. Gather around, gang. What can we tell right here, okay? What can we decipher right here? What can we decipher?
NYMEX natural gas November futures settle at $2.97.
Let's go to
Diesel November futures at $3.05 a gallon.
first.
Gas-
Let's go to the trigger screen. Follow along, okay? Price below the green, right? Price below, price below, price below. Oh, trying to recover right now, right? No guarantees though yet, right? Bull's not out of the woods yet, right? All this looming sellers above right here. So bull's still not out of the way, right? Bull's still not out of pain yet. Bull's still not in safety yet, right? Bulls need to be above the daily trigger. They need the hourly, right, to get out of all that craziness, right? That's 432. That's also positive gamma, right? So bull's not out of the woods yet. We got the Webull chart over here. This is your green bar right here, okay? See your green bar right here? We're above it right now. This is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? There's your weekly right there. This is your daily right here. So, bulls need to be above. Oh, dude. Trading 74 right now on SPY. Hold on, I gotta check my trade here because we gotta talk about weeklies here. I'm gonna talk about weeklies. Oh yeah, fuck yeah, squeeze it. Feckin' right, squeeze that up there. Hells yes. Squeeze, baby. That's your first target. You're coming to your first target right now. It's that R1. So bulls aren't out of it yet, right? You're gonna walk the plank in here. Follow my cursor on the bottom left-hand side of your screen. So you're going to park this bad boy, right? And you're going to get some big reports, and you could have some major down moves or up moves here, right? So you don't want to get stuck with weeklies. We got this nice push up, right? If it reverses to the downside, it's not going to be good for you, is it? Bull's not out of the woods yet here.
So in afternoon
You could be more
trading, just keep an eye on
confident
the
if
markets here.
price
S&P 500 up 0 spot 5%. The dollar, as per the
if
VIX,
price
is up
gets
around
above
0
the
spot
hourly trigger
65%
and
as well.
the hourly trigger comes up, right?
Let's note the stock
That's
market rose after its
awesome
longest
sauce,
slide
right? You get a
this year
bounce over here.
amid a raft of corporate earnings, with giants Microsoft and Google's parent Meta, Alphabet, reporting their numbers after the close.
That's awesome, right? But we're not there right now, are we? We're not in that mode yet, are we? We are in the mode of set them up, the pins, and we're going to roll a bowling ball into it. We're likely going to go into this close here, and we're going to make some decisions, right? Bad reports, market go down, market bad. Your weeklies burned. Good report, go to the moon, right? So the concept here would be if you're in those weekly calls, you take the money and run, ching, right? Take your money and run. Set up some zero dates, much less pain, right? Costs 10 cents, costs 15 cents, whatever it costs, no pain to you, right? If we get a great report, woo, squeeze up. What normally happens on a good report? Next day we come back down on the index, and you can jump back in a weekly again, right? Make sense? So be careful of that here. We're back down to 70 cents. Fuck, I should have taken the money. I'm going to stay in them for right now. I'm going to go against my own advice. But what I do want to say to you here is they're going to line these up this week on the index level at least. They don't. Sometimes the index will keep going higher, but oftentimes, right, you'll come in here, you'll get some weakness in the indexes. They'll bounce around, go up here, go down there, and then by morning, where do you open? Right over here, right? You don't actually
So the
open up
S&P
over here.
500
So
is trading off of session highs, led by losses in energy shares as oil slides below $84
So
a barrel. So once again, the gauge found support above the key 4,200 mark. So Verizon, 3M, and General Electric
Thanks,
climbed
David.
on bullish forecasts. Meta platforms dropped after being sued by California and a group of states over harmful youth marketing claims.
Yeah.
Bitcoin as well in the crypto space briefly topped $35,000. In fixed income, Treasury 10-year yields edged
It's
lower.
not done going up. It's going to 38.
Following Monday's intense volatility.
It's going up to 38,000. So inside of here, right? You know, if you want to trade, if you want to synthetically trade, you can do this on Qs, or not Qs. Yeah, you can do Qs until 415. You can do SPY until
Crude futures are
415.
selling at $88.07 a barrel, which is down $1.76 or
All right.
1.96% on the session.
Turn this shit off. If you don't want to put the risk on Microsoft or Google, and you don't, like, let's say you put a call on a Microsoft and Google, you can't get out of it after 4 p.m., right? So if you do a synthetic trade, you can trade Qs, and if you get that big ass rip, you can exit the trade, take the money, cha-ching, and run. Also, another benefit here is, let's say Google and Microsoft initially after the close, or any report after the close, sends the market to the depths of hell initially, but then the reports turn out to be good, or the report later in the day, you buy the calls or the puts or whatever your thesis is at like 4:10 for the following day, one date calls, and then you actually get the rip afterwards. Make sense? Or, you know, if you get the report at 4 p.m., you get the initial downside move, you grab it, report comes in great, and you run it up until 4:13 in the afternoon, you're out, see you later. And even if Microsoft or whatever comes back and we bottom the next day, you're not locked into those calls and the dealers aren't fucking you for gambling on that trade. So synthetically trading earnings through the after hours here, very viable, usually very profitable if you catch them the right way, and especially if you get them really cheap. You can usually get calls for like 10 cents, 5 cents, 20 cents, something like that. Run them up to 30 cents, 60 cents, 70 cents in a matter of moments. Exit, and then let them do whatever they want to do thereafter. So there is that opportunity here. This whole week here is setting up for that. So this is the playground right here. This is the playground for the rest of the week to fuck around. In the after hours, and for you as a bull, you're not quite out of the woods yet until you get above this weekly and daily trigger and this hourly trigger as well. You need this hourly trigger to push up, squeeze up here, and start getting price above all of this crap back here. So until that happens, not quite bullish yet. There is a turn happening, though. Let's look on the 1 hour chart here. Are we on the change right now? No, but we are there. Look at this hourly trend just starting to happen. See this right here? You see that white line? See that red line? This is that hourly trend to the upside. Is it there? Yes. Can it be a trap for bulls? Yes. You get some bad reports, and it's a big reversal to the downside, more continued blood to the downside. So even if we go up here, you're still going to expect price to come back down and recheck that hourly trend change to the upside. If you want to know what I think, fuck yeah, baby. You're going to buy that right there. And then you're going to come back in and buy this again. There's the opportunity for the second entry into weeklies. See it? You got weeklies. Take the money and run. Jump back in weeklies again to the upside right here tomorrow or the following day. Trade 0 dates inside of this zone right here. Don't be tied to that position. See the reversal coming? 1 hour trend reversal starting right now. Oh, yeah, dude. Look at that shit right there. They're going to park this shit in the clothes.